outside the Santiago Bernabeu with Faris in the freezing cold in Madrid. Our hands, feet, everything are trembling because of the cold. But a good important victory. We go to the quarterfinals of the Copa del Rey. The treble hopes are still alive.
Yeah, the most important thing was to win. Doesn't matter how, but it sucks it took 120 minutes. I wish it just took 90 minutes, to be honest. It would have saved many players like for Sunday, because the game on Sunday is in the afternoon. So I think many players took a knock today, but I hope everything's okay for Sunday.
Oh, man. Me too. We need to be in that title race, especially now the title race is going to be between three teams. But important victory, extra time, difficult. But talking about this point, the fact that youngsters finally got a chance. Finally, they got the chance. Raul Asensio started. We saw Guler playing an important role. Endrick. It's time they get more chances, freedom and consistent chances, because the season is long.
Yeah, I agree with you. The season is very long, so there's many competitions as well. So it's nice to see them play today. They also played the last game in the cup, I think last week or something. So it's good to see them, and good to see them make an impact. Endrick scored 2 goals today. Arda scored, but it was offside. I think Asensio had a really good game as well. Just one mistake for the penalty, but I think they all played good games. And I trust the squad, most of them at least. So it's good to see the young players today, and I hope they continue helping the club.
Definitely, the fact that we'll go all the names that you mentioned. I don't think the penalty on Raul Asensio was a penalty. I felt the first half incident where Lunin was involved, I felt the referee was kind of trying to compensate for that, because he didn't give a penalty, but had a strong game, Raul Asensio. Man, he should have started the Super Copa final, no?
Yeah, I agree, definitely. I'm a big fan of playing players in their positions, and I think now because Alaba's still out, and obviously Militao got an ACL injury, so he's out for the whole season. I think Asensio has to play alongside Rudiger, and if Ancelotti wants to play Tchouameni so badly, he can keep him in midfield. I think he did good today in midfield.
Tchouameni had a really good performance after the stinker he had in the Super Copa final. And then Bobby Endrick, Charlton, whatever you want to call him. The fact that the 2 goals he scored were proper instinctive strikers finish. One gets the ball, turns top corner. The power he has on his legs kind of reminds me of Adriano 2008, 2009. And the second goal was a poacher's finish, man. We have to see this more at the Bernabeu.
Yeah, I agree. I think Endrick has had a difficult start. He scored the first 2-3 games, I think, something like that. And then since then, he hasn't hit the ground running. But it's normal, he's 18. It's his first season in Madrid, and he's playing in a big club, and he's playing with literally 3 world-class players ahead of him, and Vini, Rodri, and obviously Mbappe. So it's very difficult. But I think when he's given the chance, he hasn't always made the most out of it, because he's had very few minutes, because he played the last cup game as well. And he didn't score, but today at least he scored 2 goals, and they came at an important moment. So I hope at least in the cup he keeps playing, because the season's very long and there's many games. Now we're at the stage where there's a game every 3 days, so maybe in the cup games, rest the big boys and let Endrick play, but we'll see.
Hopefully, Don Carlo, you're listening. Give Endrick a chance. Make him play, he can score. And one person who could also score is Fede Valverde. Man, whenever obviously he has inherited a lot of things from Toni Kroos. The style, a changed style of play this season, the number 8. Also inherited the way Toni Kroos used to score a lot of goals from outside the box. And I feel Fede Valverde is probably doing it one level better. I could say that because he doesn't score ordinary goals.
Yeah, Kroos, he's such an amazing player for me. He's one of our greatest players of all time, especially in midfield. But he wasn't much of a goal scorer. He scored the most he's ever scored maybe was 5 in a season. But Fedi's always been clinical, lethal outside of the goal. 2 years ago he scored 12 goals here. Last year he took a step back because there was Bellingham scoring a lot. But this year, Fedi's back to scoring many goals, many bangers. The last game I went to, he scored. Today he scored. So we're not gonna say no, especially if they come at such crucial points like the goal today came.
Definitely deciding matches. He made that one error I remember, and we spoke about. Yeah. After that, he's literally like Tom Cruise in Mission Impossible, wants to win all of it alone. Talking about Kylian Mbappe and Vini Jr. Now, Kylian Mbappe has 16 goals this season already. For somebody who has a slow start to have 16 goals, and also he's performing statistically, he's performing better than Vini Jr.
Yeah, I think Mbappe is, I said before, one of the best players in the world. I always said it would take time for him to adapt to a new league and a new team, but I think maybe since the beginning of December, he's been our best player. He's scoring the most goals, and even when he doesn't score, like what happened against Barca in Jeddah, he was, I think, our best player. Yeah, I just hope he keeps scoring because he's obviously it's good for him, good for his confidence, and it's gonna be good for us if he keeps scoring. For me, I think I predicted in the beginning of the season he'd score the most goals, so I still think so.
He should. He is the Real Madrid number 9, playing as a number 9. And the fact that if the goals start coming in from now on, especially when the business end of the season approaching, that will be the best thing to happen, you know. So the treble dreams are alive. But talking about, I have last 2 questions for you. Who do you fancy in the quarterfinals of the Copa del Rey? Yeah, I think it's Atleti, Sociedad, Leganes, Getafe.
Valencia as well, no?
I think so.
For me, anyone but Barca or Atletico would be good.
Anyone with the rivals. And who was your man of the match today and why?
To be honest, I think before Celta scored twice, maybe you can see Modric or even like Tchouameni had a good second half. So maybe Modric or Mbappe. But after Celta scored 2 goals, I think probably Fede Valverde, to be honest.
And one thing I forgot to ask you though. Arda Güler. How could I miss the guy? The Turkish star. You know, the fact that he started the last Copa del Rey game against Deportivo Meneria and he scored a brace. Today also he had an offside goal that was like disallowed, and then he had the assist for Endrick's goal. You know, like obviously he is also playing out of position. Also, we don't know what system are we playing right now. Sometimes the diamond is a 4-3-3, sometimes it's a 4-4-2 in a way. But he needs to be trusted more by Carlo Ancelotti.
Yeah, I agree. I think he should be playing a bit more. You know, last season he started the season slow because of the injuries, but towards the end of the season he kept playing and kept scoring. So I think he has to play more. I think the board also want to see more of him. I don't know. I'm reading stuff like that, so we'll see. He didn't play much in Saudi, and maybe we needed him there, but it's the past. So I hope he plays more now. Like I said, in the cup it's easy to test players, but like it nearly backfired today because we nearly lost the game. But we'll see. You know, Las Palmas on Sunday. Maybe he can start instead of one of the big players. So we'll see. It's up to Ancelotti to decide, to be honest.
To Ancelotti. And one thing also, man, before you go, I just want to say thank you. You're one of those people who just text me, I'm there.
Of course, anytime.
And I love that attitude that you have. Like the fact you just text me and you come and talk to us. So just genuinely wanted to say thank you. And this time you got friends along also.
Yes, of
So
course.
thank you. Any message to the people in Bahrain again?
Always. Uno, dos, tres. A la Madrid. Rouge.
Madrid de Rouge. Thanks, man.